Hello everyone, welcome back to Code Compass. In this video, we are going to solve rotate array from Leetcode top interview 150 list. So let's directly go to the problem statement and understand what they are asking of us. So it says given an integer array nums, rotate the array to the right by k steps, where k is non-negative. Okay, let's look at the example. So the array here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7 and k is 3. So they want us to shift the entire array towards right by 3 positions. So obviously this 5, 6 and 7 gets rolled up to the front part of the array. So they come over here and everything else 1, 2, 3, 4 gets shifted to the right. So now 1, 2, 3, 4 comes to the rightmost part of the array and this 5, 6, 7 come to the front part of the array. So everything has been shifted to the right by 3 places. Let's look at the second example. So over here we have -1, -100, 3 and 99 and here k is 2. So we need to shift everything to the right by 2 places. So ideally this 3 and 99 would get rolled up to the leftmost part of the array and then -1 and -100 will become the rightmost part of the array. So the problem is very simple and the intuition is quite interesting. Before going to the intuition of this problem, I want you guys to take a pause and try to come up with any algorithm that you think can work in this case, because there are actually multiple ways of solving this problem, as they have mentioned in the follow-up as well. So they say that there are at least 3 different ways to solve this, but we will the solution that we are going to discuss will be this one. But before going to that, I want you guys to spend some time and trying to think of an approach on your own. Okay, so now let's see the intuition for this problem. So intuition of this problem is quite simple given once you understand it. So let's see how our original array was. It was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Okay, and they want us to shift everything to the right by 3 places, which is k is equal to 3. So what I am going to do, I am going to divide this array into 2 parts. Bear with me for a moment. So let's say I pick the last 3 elements and I create an imaginary line over here. Now what will I do? In step 1, I am going to reverse this array in partitions. So there is an imaginary line. What I am going to do in step 1, I am going to reverse this portion of the array. So what will the array become? 4, 3, 2, 1. Here is our imaginary line and then 5, 6 and 7. This is k is equal to 3. Now in step 2, we will reverse the second half of the array after the imaginary line. So now the array becomes 4, 3, 2, 1 and we will reverse this part. Then it becomes 7, 6 and 5. And as the last step, before the last step, if you look closely and compare this array, output array with this one, do you see the pattern? This array is nothing but a reversed part of this array, the output array. So as the last step, very simple, what we will do, we will reverse the entire array. So then it will become 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So just compare the output and this array after step 3. It is exactly similar. Let's see how it happening in the second input. Okay, so now here the array is -1, -100, 3 and 99. K is equal to 2. So I will pick the last 2 elements and create an imaginary line. I will do in step 1, I will reverse the first portion of the array, which is this part, and in second step I will reverse this portion. So after reversing the first portion, it becomes -100, -1, 3 and 99. Then in step 2, first portion remains as it is, and we will reverse the second part, which is 3 and 99. So it becomes 99, 3. Again, if you compare these two arrays, you will notice that this is just this array reversed. So as the last step, we will reverse the entire array, and then it becomes 3, 99, minus 1 and minus 100, which is exactly what our output is intended. So now the only part that we need to take care of is how to determine where to break the array. And it is actually very simple. If you see, if we can somehow figure out the index of this particular element, then everything is sorted, right? So in the input, let's just say I'm adding the index value also 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So here length of the array is 7, k is 3, and let's say I introduce a variable and I call it as partition. So partition will be the index value of this element, okay, and that will simply be length of the array minus k, which is 7 minus 3, 4. Once we have this value, we can use it as the breaking point and reverse everything prior to that point and reverse everything after that point, and eventually we will reverse the entire array and we will have the output which is required of us. So just go over this dry run once again, and then we will see it happening in the code. Alright, so now let's see our logic happening in the code. So as explained earlier, we will define a variable partition which will be nums.length minus k, and we will need a method to reverse portions of the array. So I will create a method reverse. It will take as input array and a starting index and an ending index, and I will simply write the logic to reverse everything between this range. So while start is less than end, I will take temp is equal to array of start is equal to array of end, and lastly array of end is equal to temp. We will increment the start pointer and we will decrement the end pointer. As simple as that. So once we have the partition value, we will first reverse the first part of the array. So it will be nums, 0, partition minus 1. Then we will reverse the second part of the array, nums, partition and the last index of the array, which will be nums.length minus 1, and ultimately we will reverse the entire array. So nums 0, nums.length minus 1, and that's it. But there is one last thing which we need to take care of, which is, if you look over here, k can have a very large value, and it is not guaranteed that k will always be less than the value of the length of the array. So it's possible that k may be large. Let's say the length of array is 5 and k may be 10, or k may be 3 or 4 or whatever. So just to be safe, we need to modulo it with the length of the array, so that even if k is greater than the array length, it fits inside the length of the array itself. So now let's see if this works or not. Oh, okay, there's a compilation error. We forgot an extra minus. Now let's see. Great. So the basic two examples are working fine. For 1 to 1, we have returned 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4. And for the second example also, it is working fine. Now let's go ahead and submit it. Great. So our all test cases are passing. I hope the intuition and the code, both parts of this problem were clear to you. If you liked the explanation, do subscribe to our channel, and I'll see you in the next one.